I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
On today's episode of One Minute Reaction, directed Dr. Stone, episode 16, A Tale for the Ages. I gotta be completely honest, I did not see any of that coming. Neither the revelation behind the village, nor the weird kind of tonal shift we get, and I'm left with a question that makes this series very, very uncomfortable, at least until we get more information. Now, last we left off, Senku is proclaimed as the new chief of Village Ishigami, and upon hearing this, he is absolutely shocked. Not about the fact that he won, but more or less the name of the village. Why? Because, as Ruri will soon inform us, Senku's last name is Ishigami. And this is where we pick up today's episode. Although Senku is proclaiming he knows exactly what's going on, 10 billion%, the fact that you have knowledge that you shouldn't have, the fact that you know my name, the name of the village, as well as the fact that you and Kohaku obviously have foreign blood, everything absolutely makes sense. Well, if you know everything, how about you share with the rest of us? And this is where Ruri comes in. We see a vast amount of the information is passed down from priestess to priestess in the form of stories known as the 100 Tales. Now, in this set of stories, there's one in particular. The 100th tale is about a certain boy. What is that boy's name? Yes, you guessed it, Senku Ishigami. And this is where we get a flashback. We start off with the precocious, wide-eyed Senku staring up at the stars. This proclivity is something he seems to share with his father. Yes, the failed or would-be failed astronaut. While admiring his son's curiosity, it seems he's still depressed. Over what? Failing the astronaut recruitment test. Now, with this large chunk of information, I myself was able to, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you were able to guess everything. Now, after stating it wouldn't be another decade till he get his chance to become an astronaut, we move forward in the story. And just as fate would have it, another round of recruitment shows up, and both father and son get the notification. Well, Senku takes upon himself to help his father pass this time, creating some kind of electro-muscle stimulant suit to help him pass the swimming exam, which he failed last time. And although the father states that the invention completely did not work at all, seeing his motivation to help his father is what drove him to eventually pass and become an astronaut. And this is where we progress in the story again, eventually moving to sometime right before P-Day. Senku's father, which we learn his name is Byakuya Ishigami, as well as 2 other teammates are shot into space and eventually hook up with the space station, where we see a couple of familiar faces. Eventually more time has passed. On Earth, Senku is researching the petrification of swallows. Cut to back on the space station, Byakuya is trying to be friendly with everyone, especially one of his teammates he came along with, who seems to be very work-centric, going as far as trying to give him some custom-made ramen. And after taking a bite, the dude is completely shocked. Not at how good the ramen is, but the fact that petrification has begun. Yes, outside the window of the space station, we see that P-Day is taking place, and what we get is an overall look at what's happening, and it's still very weird. We see a green kind of static with a giant orange kind of like glitched out orb type thing, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Was that the event horizon of wherever that happened? Was it an explosion? Was that the reflection of the moon? I mean, I'm not 100% sure what the fuck is going on, but it's very eerie, but it only seems to encompass the Earth's atmosphere. Luckily, the space station is outside the Earth's atmosphere, so everyone on board is unaffected. Now, after the radios fail and the internet is not picking up anything, they finally get a hold of some live feeds, and they witness what has taken place. Yes, as far as the eye can see, everyone on Earth has been petrified. Now, they have 2 options. One guy states, hey, we should wait for rescuers. I mean, there were 7 billion people on Earth. There has to be some survivors. But Byakuya has a different thought in mind. Hey guys, we are the last 6 humans alive. We need to go back to Earth. And this is where the episode cuts out. So my greatest curiosity, my greatest question, and my greatest concern is the fact that are these the last 6 people on Earth? And if you think about that, what does that mean? Especially for Ishigami Village, what does that mean? 6 individuals have to repopulate, and that leads me to question the genetics of this village. I.e., has Ishigami Village gone through a series, a progression of inbreeding? Like, at some point, there's gonna be some cross genetics going on. I mean, how many generations is in 3,700 years? Honestly, that thought left a sour taste in my mouth. The other major issue I'm having is Senku himself. Now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He has had a lot of shit on his mind. mind, trying to survive this stone world after being unpetrified. All the shit with Shishio and creating the wonder drug. I'm just curious, how did his father is in space slip his mind? I mean, even if he assumes that everyone was petrified on Earth and he knew the question of, well, how did this village get started? At some point during that thinking, especially for a super genius like him, there were astronauts outside of Earth's atmosphere. One was including my father, so it's just kind of weird that he completely forgot about that. Not only that, combining those two concerns together, are some of the people in the village in direct relation to Senku? Like, is Chrome a possible descendant of Senku? Honestly, it makes sense if you think about his proclivity for science/sorcery at the time, and the way he was constantly collecting materials and just being like the weirdo of the group. That makes perfect sense. But then also, any kind of future relationship also gets eerily weird. Like, I was totally shipping him and Kuhaku at this point, but now that they could be a blood relation, that's just fucking creepy. And the last thing I'm curious about is the location of Senku's petrification. It's obviously he was in the school still. We see Yuzuriha and Taiju outside by that giant tree, but as far as we know, Senku somehow was unpetrified outside in the middle of, flatlands, forest, no rubble beside him, no buildings whatsoever. And it kind of makes you wonder, did at one point someone, aka possibly his father, move his statue? I don't know. It's weird. We obviously see him get petrified inside of a building. If the building would fall around him, he would most likely be crushed at this point. So yeah, kind of makes you wonder. But like I said, this is just the beginning of the story. Hopefully we do get more information in the next episode and they don't leave off with this being it, because that does not answer fucking anything. I want to see how the village actually got formed. I want to see, maybe there was other survivors, but where are they now? Do they just coalesce into one big group? I honestly don't have any fucking clue. Yeah, I just don't know if I was ready for today's episode. I'm left with a lot of questions and most of them are very disturbing. But moving forward, we got to figure out what the hell's going on. We still have to solve petrification too, so yeah, shit needs to get done. So with that being said, I cannot wait for future episodes.